It's Low Q with your Daily Q News. We've got a lot to get to. This is going to be a readout, a visual. I'll also give you opinions and research and facts that I have found. By the end of this, your mind will be blown. Will be blown. This is maybe the most significant bombshell to historical events that Q has pointed out. So follow along. Let's start out with 906. This is March 9th, 2018. Post 906. Reread. Relate to Australia. Australia donations to Clinton Foundation. Why is this relevant? More than you know. This is big. So he's telling you to look more into the Australian correlation with the Clinton Foundation. And there's a diplomat that he is the director of foreign affairs, and he's the leader of the foreign affairs. The only thing that I was able to find research-wise was that he's connected with the Hillary Clinton Foundation. They gave him $25 million for an AIDS fund, which sticks out pretty big to me. And he was also the same guy that went to the FBI, pointed out the dossier, and said, hey guys, look into this, as that favor for the $25 million, I take it. But moving on, 907, because we have like 20 plus posts to get to, so this is going to be a little bit long of a video. I don't like doing that usually, but today let's rock it. 907, it's been corrected. Donald J. Trump, verified account. Real Donald Trump, 1 hour ago. More, Chinese President Ping. And go look at the tweet. What it was is a correction that the J in Jinping was an X before it was reposted and corrected with a J. I'm not sure what that means, but Q refers to this anon by saying 1111. The only thing that I can correlate with that is the 5 of 5, which means loud and clear. It's basically like saying Roger, 10-4, or whatever. But 1111, I do not know. I don't know if there's any police code out there that might give us some insight. But moving on. Q relates back to his post from 906 that we just read and says, which conversation leaked? POTUS and Australia? Why that specific conversation? Signal? They, hear what you are saying. Threat to Australia. Why? Why do they know? Trapped. Forced? Blood. Now what this is referring to, or at least as much as I can get out of it, is the Clinton administration, or the deep state, the Obama leftovers and whatnot. They wanted us to know that they were listening. They wanted the administration to know they are listening. For what reason is Australia relevant? I'm not sure yet on that. I'm not keeping my opinions to myself right now, but moving on. Post 909. Planned Parenthood, written by an anonymous. He replies, review congressional investigation. Reread drops on Planned Parenthood. We are working to end evil, not as it appears. Now, I looked into the Planned Parenthood to see where that is escalating in its investigation, and what I was really all I was able to come up with was there was a recent interview with the president of Planned Parenthood, Richards, and she said that they did not sell baby parts, baby body parts. They didn't sell them. That's what she says. That's as much as it's gone through so far, or at least all I can find. But something's happening. I'm sure more to do with that than anything. I mean, when you sell baby body parts, That is the lowest of the low. Yeah, there is more evil out there, but that is right up there. Post 910. Do not focus on the call details. We knew it would leak. We knew certain areas of the White House were bugged. We knew certain people would leak. Focus. Why Australia? Really, the only thing that I can come up with is the Five Eyes, but we'll wait on that because that's going to come up here in a little bit. Because basically, Q answers himself most of the time through his next post. So, 9/11, and Anon writes, "Hey Q, are we going to have a big week this week?" Q replies, "March Madness," in all caps. Woo, I can't wait. Okay, here we go. 9/12. Australia is part of Five Eyes, and Anon writes. Q replies, "Five Eyes is very important. It won't be around much longer. Relevant here, but not the focus." 9/13. Awesome. Five Eyes is basically a group of countries asking each other to spy on one another's citizens so that they can skirt their own privacy laws, which is treason, by the way. And Q refers you back to a post to where it's basically talking about foreign surveillance and whatnot. But let's move on to 9/14. And Anon writes, "For the record, can you please tell these Anons, ES equals Eric Schmidt, at Snowden equals Snowden. ES equals does not equal Snowden." These people just can't put two and two together. And he refers back to, yeah, and that is, if you are confused by that, he puts ES for Eric Schmidt and he puts at Snowden for Eric Snowden, so that you can tell the difference. 9/15. And Anon writes, "In 2013, documents leaked by the former NSA contractor Edward Snowden revealed the existence of numerous surveillance programs jointly operated by the Five Eyes. The following list includes several notable examples reported in the media. PRISM, operated by the NSA together with the GSHQ and the ASD. Then Keystone, X-Keyscore, operated by the NSA with contributions from the ASD and the GCSB. Tempora, operated by the GCHQ with contributions from the NSA. Muscular, operated by the GCHQ and the NSA. State Room, operated by the ASD, CIA, CSE, GCHQ, and NSA. Q replies, "Interesting, isn't it?" And as we move on to post 9/16, and Anon refers to an interview that Donald Trump had. "Whatever happened to the Pakistani guy who worked with the DNC?" The president asked in an interview published Thursday by the New York Times. A grand jury in August returned an indictment in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia charging Awan and his wife, Hina Alvi, with a total of 4 counts, which included federal bank fraud and conspiracy. Awan has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Whatever happened to them? Trump continued. With the 2 servers that they broke up into a million pieces, whatever happened to him? And then the Anon writes, "What about Awan? Is Israel involved?" Q replies, "We are Israel for last. Very specific reason. Not mentioned a single time." Well, that's deep. Which, doing further research, what I found, the recent info on Awan is we found out that he was an IT aide for Debbie Wasserman Schultz. There is a correlation between him to levels at the very top, and I'm not 100% sure how far to the top, but I'm guessing pretty relevant if Q's pointing it out. In post 218, They refer to the Donald Trump tweet where he said North Korea hasn't conducted a missile test since November 28, 2017, and has promised not to do so through our meetings. I believe they will honor that commitment. The Anon writes, I swear Trump is killing me here. Ha ha ha. He keeps putting up clues he has already talked to Kim. You are learning. How many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible? Wait until you learn who has been talking to you here. Q. That's exciting. I would love to know. What if, like, Donald Trump or Eric Snowden? Sometimes I've wondered if all the all caps that Q does sometimes might be the president talking. Kind of like the red words in the Bible were Jesus or God, and what if it's kind of like that in the sense that all caps is Donald Trump, which sometimes that differs, and I don't think so, but it's just a theory. Moving on. 919. Guns are safe. Stop falling for the fake news. Fake news in all caps. 920. And Anon writes, or no, Q relates to himself. You are learning how many coincidences post that we just read. He puts another coincidence. At Snowden tweets after the 24 Twitter requirement. Public view. You have more than you know. So yeah, I guess that was 24 hours. You have to reply on Twitter if you agree to work with us, maybe, or give us something that we're looking for. I have no clue. And he did. He actually did reply, and Q related to it and said he was smart to do so. Post 921. Future proves past. Revealed Sessions has appointed someone outside of D.C. long ago. Wood are sealed. Reread drops. Related to Podesta and Huma. You have more than you know. I love the future proves past. It is so irrelevant, and the double meaning back behind it is so exciting. Post 922. Keep the resonation list updated. Important. Keep the graphics updated. Important. Post 923. They made many current former enslaved children famous. Hollywood is filled with them. Models. Find the loudest voices. Brainwashed. Who was adopted? Who was born in? They thought the sheep would follow the stars. Wow. That's actually the first time I've read that one. Whoa. Yeah, he must have just posted these new ones. Good. Perfect timing for the video. Moving on, so I'll get through it for y'all so y'all can go do the research and make bread yourself. Post 924. They made many current former enslaved children famous. That whole thing. He's related to himself to that past post. The spirit cooking discovery is bigger than you know. Follow Maria. There's a reason the word conspiracy was made / pushed. Their weapon against the awakening. And that's true. In 1967, they weaponized the word conspiracy theory. Don't call it a conspiracy theory. If somebody says to you, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory, if you've done the research and you know the facts, then say, no, wait. I am a conspiracy analyst, okay? I am the one that figures on which conspiracies are theories, in fact. I am the one that does the research to validate the truth. Conspiracy analyst, not a theorist. Because as of this year, this past year, that term has gone out the window. Too many things have been validated to still call somebody a conspiracy theorist. People are going to Alex Jones for the facts and the answers, not to wonder what cool story he has to say this time. He's got plenty of people on his team of 100 plus that can do the research and have the sources to be able to answer any question you have about anybody or any place. 924. They made many. Oh, okay. 925. This is not about religious or party affiliation. Evil is everywhere. There are no drawn lines, no boundaries. Good versus evil. You're basically saying you're either a white hat or you're a black hat. There is no in between. Good versus evil. Man, I love it. I love it, man. He is on a roll today. What is that? Yeah, he's on his 30th post today. And Anon writes, why the misspelling? Did you mean Marina? He replies, on the move. Misspelled. Don't analyze. He's on the move. That's interesting. And he would even just let us know that. 927 with a link falls on deaf ears. Not with this administration. We'll go to the link real quick so y'all can see it and know to look for when you do your own research. Oh yeah, okay. I know this video. This man, I love this man. He is one of the best diplomats I think we've ever had, and has been decades and decades has been. This is a movie.
Have Lyons with us, sir.
Admiral Ace Lyons.
Well, I'm sorry I missed the earlier.
I won't. If you need it, just go look at the Q post and link. Falls on deaf ears. Not this. And what Admiral Ace Lyons is talking about is how officials at the top chain of the government, actually the security advisor, prevented an attack on Islamist in 1960s and 70s and 80s. And no, it was 80s. It was 80s, the one specifically that he's talking about, how they could have stopped the spread of Islam throughout the world, radical Islam, and they were told not to after pleading with their security advisor. He said, so he was ultimately the reason back behind this all happening. He knew something. He owed favors. Now this post right here is the bombshell. Post 928. Angela Dorothy Kasner, daughter of a pastor, name of a father, history of a father, Hitler Youth member, haircut today versus then. A. Symbolic. U.S. intelligence post-war controlled who? The mission. Who is Angela Hitler? Relationship to Adolf Hitler? How were children named in Germany during this period? First or middle? Family tree. Anna, Maria, Alois. Examples. Risk of conspiracy label the deeper we go. Truth will shock the world. The bombshell is this, guys. I did all the research and it took forever, but really what you can do, if you want to go find it yourself and read the whole article yourself, go to Google and put in Angela Krasner MERkEL related to Hitler, Adolf Hitler. And in this article, it talks about, well, we'll go through this post again, and I'll analyze it as we go. The daughter of a pastor? Well, yeah, her father was a pastor. Name of the father, I can't remember the name of the father. History of the father is The history of her father was that he, from the age of 14 to 18, they, during Nazi times, during War II, they had basically like youth camps for young aspired Nazis. Basically, what it was. And these kids from 14 to 18 were able to take part in rallies, book burnings, and parades, almost as if they really were a part of the military. We'll keep it short. Keep on going. Hitler Youth member, and that's actually what it's called, was Hitler Youth, and he was a member of this from 14 to 18 to 19 actually. Now the haircut today versus then, I'm not totally understanding that necessarily. It's symbolic. U.S. intelligence post-war controlled who? U.S. intelligence post-war controlled, through past Q posts, he's explained that we controlled the SS members, the war criminals of the time. We gave them new identities, new names, spread them throughout the world, both in the UK and in the US, brought them here. Ex-scientists, an example would be the doctor that was the angel of death, that did all the experiments for Hitler when it came to cloning, when it came to reproduction, any kind of mental studies. This guy was the guy. And once the war was over, I guess the U.S. was like, well, if we go ahead and take all these scientists and get all of their information, even though they use really cruel means to do these experiments and to instead of us having to do that ourselves, they already have done it. Don't let those people die in vain. We'll use that research as it's relevant today. And this guy was dark. Angel of Death. The doctor called Angel of Death. The mission. If you look at 928, back here in the very middle, the mission. The mission was to disperse all of them and protect them. Who is Angela Hitler? Relationship to Adolf? How were children named in Germany during this period? Now, Angela Hitler is Adolf Hitler's half sister. She was older than him. The children named in Germany during this point, they went by their middle name instead of their first. Go by the family tree. Anna, Maria. Alois is actually was actually Adolf Hitler's father, I'm pretty sure. Examples. Risk of conspiracy label. What this all boiled down to, if you do go to Google and you type in Angela Krasner Merkel's relationship to Adolf Hitler, through extensive research, they have found out that Merkel is Adolf Hitler's daughter. Now they changed her birth date. Her birth date was originally April 20th. They changed it to June 17th so that people wouldn't know this. Now the whole mission here was to, one of the deals that we made with the Angel of Death was that we will release you and protect you if you can hand over your research along with Adolf Hitler's frozen sperm and semen. That a way that we can make our own Hitler, basically. They did this. They made their own Hitler, which they already had a Hitler, because if you do some research on Hitler, Hitler's dad was actually the illegitimate son of Solomon Rothschild. he had a mistress that got pregnant and had Hitler, or Adolf, during this time. Where was the point of it all was that in the 1940s, Merkel was born in 47. She didn't start her political career until 1989. 1990 was the fall of the Berlin Wall. That's when she says that she wanted to start, a career in politics. Now, the mission from the U.S., the U.K., the Vatican, and Germany was to take this baby and make her the leader of the world, and basically make her become what Hitler wasn't able to do. Now, I have to say it was a lot less violent, but she wasn't able to have full control of the world, of the EU, like Hitler wanted, until the Vatican would assign a pope that was German. This happened in 1990, April 20th. Just so happens that it was Adolf Hitler's birthday. April 20th, 1990 was his anniversary of his birthday when this pope was assigned, the first German pope. And now that gives her the opportunity to start her rule. 1990, she starts. She ends up being the chancellor to Germany and the president of the EU, which is supposedly supposed to be the actual most powerful person in the world. Now, we will move on because it comes back to this. Q post 9:30. POTUS, recent tweet relevant here. EU, enough is enough. She was warned. Talking about Merkel. She's leader of the EU. She was warned. Enough is enough. Then 9:31, he relates back to that older post and says, 10 to comply. Choice is yours. With a Q plus. He's only done this one other time. And I don't know if I've heard a lot of theories. It could mean like the last time he did it was the scripture post that he had. I know what I have for you. I will not harm you. I will protect you. That whole good scripture, and this one Q plus. And I'm thinking that it might be a cross, or it could be Trump. Plus it's a little T. It could mean Trump. I don't know, but 10 to comply. Choice is yours. Q plus. 9:32. The creation of the internet and connecting platforms is bringing about their downfall. Failure to control. Mainstream media is dead. Hashtag Internet Bill of Rights. 9:33. Anon writes. Q. Goldman Sachs CEO stepping down. Executive order damage. Fortune.com. And with the link. Q replies tied to Cohen. It was not his choice. Pawn used. Wow. And some pictures. And Anon writes, tied to Cohen? I'm so glad Cohen is out. I never liked or trusted his globalist arse. Q replies, more coming. Keep your... (9:35) is a picture of what looks like a few priests or popes, and obviously some Nazis doing their Heil Hitler hate hands. Oh, there's some evil, evil people. And that tells you right there that the Vatican is probably the oldest version of evil globalism in the entire world throughout all of time. Q post to this picture, the Nazi order. NWO, in kill boxes. N does not refer to new. The sum of all fears. North Korea. POTUS. Hostage. Threat. Disarm. Stage set. Freedom. Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, the Bible talks about the end times. Eventually there is peace on earth. And at the rate that this man is going, I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime, but there's at least a possibility now. Post 937, glimpse. You cannot possibly imagine the size of this. Trust the plan. Trust there are more good than bad. The world is helping. We are not alone. We are all connected in this fight. Patriots, unite. We are winning big. Watch the speech. God bless. And that is all the Q posted. Or no, it's not. He posted again. Okay, 938. N does not refer to Nazi. The continued ideology is relevant. Events will clarify. Think subgroup. Q. 939. So Hitler was a puppet of the controlling families of the NWO and the non-rights. And Q relates him to a past post. So Hitler was a puppet of controlling families of the NWO. Some deep stuff, some huge bombshells. I don't see how that one's not a boom, but I love it. I love it how Q says, "Hey, we warned you. Enough is enough. Now I got to put you on blast and let you know, and let everybody know that we know who you are, Merkel. Okay? Spread the word. Hitler's blood lives on." And it just so happens, is that really a coincidence, that she is the chancellor of Germany and also the president of the EU? It's like Hitler's dreams came true eventually over time. And we let it happen. Now, what I don't understand is how Germany's people didn't catch this. But then again, they could say the same thing about us when it comes to Obama and his birth certificate. They could say, how do we know this and them not know this? And if they do know this, why aren't they having riots and bum rushing everybody to bring him in? Well, that's it for today so far. If any new Q post, I'll put them on tomorrow's update. This is Low Key with your daily Q news. Low Key out. Please like, subscribe. Please comment also. I need y'all's help. I appreciate you.